Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect, episode 170. Today's date is April 23rd, 2023, and I am Duds, also known as Duds versus the rest of the interwebs.
And I'm Jimbo. You may know me as Jimbo Slice 23. Almost forgot my number. I hesitated. So what have you been up to recently, Duds?
Hacking along. I don't know if you can tell, I literally just read the intro, and then I just coughed really bad.
Yeah, I heard it coming.
Yeah. Okay, so my allergies are really bad, so if there's weird edits in here, it's not Carl's fault. It is my fault. Actually, it's my doctor's fault for prescribing medications that do not work.
Yeah, apparently.
But here we go. Yeah, so I've been working on an episode for like a month now.
Mm-hmm.
It is done. All I have to do is hit the render button. I finished it this morning.
Oh, nice.
The problem is with my allergies, if I sit still and I don't say anything, I will go hours. No cough. I feel perfectly fine. The second I go to cough, it loosens up the mucus and it slides down the back of my throat, causing me to cough. Once I start coughing, it's a continuation. I'm manifesting my own dread. So recording an episode or doing the podcast will sometimes lead me to, I call it hacking up a lung. For anyone who's squirmy eared, here's your warning. I'll cough so much that so much mucus will go to the back of my throat. It'll gag me. I'll feel like I'm drowning, and I just have to just hack it a lot to the point where I gotta spit and stuff. And it's really gross. It's really disgusting. But the downside of it is I will also lose my voice.
Wow.
So I won't be able to talk for a couple hours if I have 2 or 3 of those kinds of coughs in a row. So I have to pick and choose. It's do you want your voice? Do you not want your voice? Fun times. So it's the way I did my episode. It's literally a clip every other day because that's just the way it had to be. And I feel really bad.
You know, you have 10 words you got to get out at a time.
Oh yeah, they're like a minute-long clip. I put 2 time lapses in there because the off days I could do time lapses because I'm not talking to anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So I would still be working on stuff. I played the crap out of my own survival. I didn't record or make an episode out of it because I really can't. But whenever I was at a stopping point and I needed to do something for an episode on Channel 64, I just had to stop and I went and played single player, or I worked on something that I could use a time lapse for. There's a clip when I'm working on the front fascia of a room, and I did the front fascia in a time lapse, and then I went on the creative server and recorded the clip of me saying we're getting ready to work on this 3 days later because that's the way I had to time my voice up. It's a real pain in the butt.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like your body's rejecting something. You know what I mean? Obviously, it's the pollen.
Yeah, and the pollen this year is so bad.
Pretty visible.
I can be outside on a windy day, and there will be a haze outside because you can see the pollen blowing off the trees. I have never seen it that bad before.
Yeah, I don't see it like that.
We have little pollen balls starting to show up. So I work out in a warehouse, which is technically indoor, but we have big dock doors that stay open most of the time because it's above 80 degrees Fahrenheit, North Carolina already. So it gets a bit warm. So you have to open the doors to cool the warehouse down. We don't have air conditioning. Well, when you open the doors to cool yourself down, you're now inviting all this pollen in. And it's just so I either need to just sweat like crazy or cough like crazy. Not fun.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very fun.
And I started a new prescription yesterday, and it just made me exhausted, body aching, stuff like that. No fever, no vomiting or anything. It just didn't sit well. I think I was supposed to have something to eat before I took the medication, and I didn't. And yeah, I just laid in bed most of the day. What a great way to spend your day off, just laying in bed.
Yeah, sometimes it's nice, but you feel like you're either missing out on something or unproductive, really.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
That's been my time since the last time we spoke. How about you?
I haven't played much Minecraft lately, but I have been playing a little bit of single player.
I saw.
Yeah, I've probably put in a few hours on it. Maybe a little more than that. Where am I at in there? I found a village, and I'm able, I'm just kind of taking the villagers and putting them in a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
Starting a mob farm, stuff like that you would need.
Yeah, early game.
Yeah, and the thing is, we've talked about the early game, how you don't like it and how I actually enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually not so enjoyable in single player.
No, it is not.
It's way more fun in multiplayer when you start a world
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much going on, there's nothing going on. It's just you in the single player world, and it's a slow start, and it's, I don't know, something you have to grind through in single player that I didn't really realize. I played single player a long time ago, but I've never got too far into it before joining Commicraft. Now, you've had Project Moss for a while now. Does it feel like that also, like after a while, this single player?
Recently, I thought about starting over again.
Mm-hmm.
My Channel 64 base, when I went to do it, I said I need to make this the most dudsiest base I have ever made. And that's what I set out to do. And I have finished the first floor of the base, and I'm slowly working on the second floor and exterior. And I love this base. And the thing about multiplayer, you start over at some point.
Mm-hmm.
So I know in the back of my head, at some point, I'm going to lose this base. This will not be my base anymore. And I didn't want to run into that. So I was like, well, if I start a new single player world, I can do this again. I can come up with a different idea, but pure dudsify a base. And then I was like, but I love everything I've done in Project Moss. For those who don't know, Project Moss is it was the working code name for months leading up to my own survival.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I've sat there, I'm like, I've done so much. My problem is I don't like a lot of the builds that I did on there. I think some of the buildings are ugly and tacky and stuff. So I was like, well, maybe I should just redo them. I'm like, no. It shows a progression of where I was years ago to where I am now.
Oh, you should see this place I built for the villagers. It looks like crap.
Yeah.
It looks like crap. Like, I kind of just threw it together.
Oh, yeah.
Minimal resources.
But you're still early game.
Yeah, but it's just funny. Some of the things that I built to compare to this thing that I got. I tried with the roof. I tried there. But, like, everything else kind of went to crap. But, I don't know. If I plan on, if I get motivated enough to fix it, I will.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good place to keep all the villagers.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at Bio and Survival, my villager breeder is still a giant fenced-in area with a couple villagers and a bunch of beds.
Mm. Yeah, I just have beds on one side of the building and then workstations on the other, and I go in there to trade if I want to. I'm not even at the point where, like, they have good trades. I think I found an Infinity book, but I'm just all over the place. When you start new in a new world, you're everywhere. Oh, I need diamonds. Wait, I need to get this to do this. You have to, like, I don't know. I'm going in circles here.
Yeah.
Going around this world. And there's always something to do. That's a good thing.
Which farm is more important to build first?
Right. That's the main question.
Well, for me, it's always the iron farm.
Mm-hmm.
Because the iron farm allows you to do so many other farms.
See, I was going to say iron.
Mm-hmm.
But mining, I found enough iron to sustain myself for a little while.
That's true.
Yeah.
The mining mechanics have changed.
Mm-hmm. So I just built one of the easiest things to build, and that's a mob farm. Well, starting to.
Mm-hmm.
It's not done, but pillaring up into the sky, trying to, get drops from there.
Mm-hmm. I mean, food is obviously a big thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I have fenced-in cows, but it's not a farm.
Yeah.
Technically.
And see, like, cooked pork chops are so easy with hoglins down in the nether.
Mm-hmm.
Like, those farms are ridiculous, but I have so much fun on my own little survivor world, just kind of walking around, breeding the cows. Even though it's an automated cow farm, like, I still walk around and breed them, and I check on the shears doing the sheep. I'm just tending to this world.
Mm-hmm.
It's not very automated while being completely automated at the same time.
Yeah, it still gives you something to do. Like, completely automated things, like...
Right.
You put the work in while building it. You do that. But then afterwards, it just, like, items come to you.
Yeah.
Which is an awesome thing about farming. But it's one less thing you got to do or worry about.
Yeah, and all my farms, for anyone who watches, they're not over the top and massive, and they'll give you 1,000 drops per hour. They're always really slow because I want them to constantly run in the background, so they're not causing lag.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
And I was thinking about that on single player. Like, I'm not going to build these crazy farms here because it's just me.
Right.
I don't have a store to open. I don't need to share with anyone. It's just for me. So even on single player, no reason to go big unless you want to wow someone or you want those crazy numbers.
Yeah.
Yeah, besides single player, I haven't been playing much multiplayer. I'm not as motivated to record.
Mm-hmm.
There's a segment I needed to record, and it's a big, like, cinematic segment.
Mm-hmm.
And, just haven't gotten there to motivate myself to record it, to go through all the replay mod stuff, and yeah, it's kind of on the back burner.
Yeah, replay mod is a great tool, but could also be a curse.
Mm-hmm.
When you really want to get cinematic, it's like, oh, I can do all these great things, but not only are you playing the game, then you have to like edit your recording, then edit it again into the final episode. It's like, ugh.
It'd take you like 2 hours to get this perfect cinematic scene.
Yeah.
And, you realize you just used 10 seconds in your video just for that little thing to get it right.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's about where I'm at.
All right. Shall we move on to the news?
Yeah.
So, in the time in between episodes, Legends has released.
Yes.
I don't know if you've seen any gameplay footage of it.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Not much of it.
Same here.
Didn't go looking for it, but when I saw it, I think I saw Grian's gameplay.
Yep.
And I enjoyed the PvP aspect of it instead of the campaign. I thought it was really cool the way it's used. There is some strategy involved, which is what I was hoping for, but I see a lot of spam also.
Yeah, so I'm going to be upfront. I don't particularly think I would like Legends.
Okay.
I think I said this about Dungeons, but turned out to really like Dungeons.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see myself liking Legends. I've never liked that kind of gameplay, whereas I can get into Dungeons because it brings back my nostalgia for early Legend of Zelda gameplay.
Oh, okay.
So that's pretty cool. And of course, I like Minecraft, and Dungeons really does feel like an extension of Minecraft, whereas watching Legends gameplay, it feels like it's a game with a Minecraft skin.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't feel like an extension of it.
It kind of, it looks like Minecraft, but it doesn't feel like it.
Right.
It feels like its own thing. Dungeons kind of had that, but it felt Minecraft.
Right.
This doesn't feel as Minecrafty, just the way everything's animated and moving.
Yeah, with Dungeons, you could tell it's not Minecraft, but it felt
right
Minecraft. Like, at its heart, it felt like a Minecraft game.
Mm-hmm.
Dungeons doesn't feel that way to me at all. Plus, I'm really over the extreme cell shading that's happening in video games now. It hurts my eyes.
See, I don't mind the cell shading.
I know there are people who really like it.
But I think that's a big part of why it feels so different.
Yeah, it hurts my eyes to watch when... I have this in Minecraft already, but when players are just whipping back and forth with the camera. So when there's a lot of movement going on the screen with cell shading, I have problems keeping up. I don't know if that's just because I'm getting older and I got old eyes now.
Maybe.
But it's like, I have no clue what's going on. I don't know. I'm not going to spend money on it. I'm not sure how much it even costs.
Yeah, I feel like I'd have to have a group of friends to play with on this.
Yeah, that's the other thing. There's been a lot of problems with playing with friends online. I did see a tweet saying they're going to make it easier so you can group up and play.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'd be cool. I was thinking before, how similar it was to Clash of Clans. That's kind of what I was hoping for, that kind of gameplay. We got it a little bit in this game, but it's not technically the same. I don't know. Not as much strategy involved. I would like to try it.
And there's not a good way to communicate. Like, there's no VoIP or voice over IP. There's no real, like, chat to your teammates. So one person can be doing one thing and another person just comes over and completely ruins it by stepping on your toes, taking your troops.
Yeah. I mean, it is a new game. Maybe players just haven't found the, type of gameplay for the strategy. Find the strategies yet. I don't know. Maybe they have. I haven't really watched it much lately. Maybe.
Yeah, I kind of stopped. I watched a couple hours of video footage, and then I started watching a live stream, and I was just like, it just doesn't look for me. Probably not going to get a lot of Legends updates. If people are having good time with it, let us know. Tell us what you like about it.
Yeah, we do have snapshots too.
We do. And the big change is Pottery Shards will now be called Pottery Sherds. I did read somewhere that they're pronounced the same.
Oh.
But if they're pronounced the same, what?
Yeah, why spell it like that?
Yeah, I get it's an actual archaeology term. So if anyone get ready to go, Dutch, it's a real word. You got to use the real... I get it, but it's weird.
Sounds like something else.
Yes.
Like a combination of two words.
But yeah, That's been changed. There's been a lot of tweaks to the vibration stuff for Skulk Sensor and Skulk Shrieker.
Mm-hmm.
There were some texture changes to the, I forget its name.
The Torchflower?
No, well, yes, there were some changes to the Torchflower. They're not adding light levels to it yet, though.
Yeah, all that.
But like the Sniffer follows Torchflower Seeds now too, so that's cool.
Mm-hmm. Are they bred with Torchflowers?
I don't think you can breed them.
Maybe not.
I haven't seen anyone actually breed a Sniffer.
I think I saw it.
I very well could be wrong.
Yeah, I could be wrong. I'm not sure. I remember them being bred.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember.
The Trail Ruins got a bit of a rework. I don't think there's going to be sand in it anymore. So it's just basically gravel and dirt.
This is gravel.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder why they wouldn't put the suspicious sand in there.
I'm not sure.
They wanted it exclusively for temples, maybe? And wells?
There's more structure variance. I didn't notice an incredible change with the structure itself.
Same.
I mean, there's definitely some slight tweaks and stuff, but nothing major that would make me go, okay, this is now changed to this. The big thing is with loot tables. So now there's 2 loot tables for these things, where you have like common loot and then rare loot.
Mm-hmm.
So common loot would have tinted glass, tools, candles, stuff like that. And then rare would have shards, the smithing templates for the armor trims, stuff like that.
I wonder if you can get any, like, diamond. Doesn't say that on here, but rare loot, that's rare loot.
Yeah, it doesn't say it on here, but it might.
Very well could.
That was the placeholder when we first saw archaeology was a diamond.
Yeah.
It would be cool to see some rare blocks in the game. Like, what is it, deep slate coal? Or a stone emerald? Those are known for being rare blocks now with the new height changes. For older ruins to have those hidden in them, it'd be like, we'll see people back then knew they were rare too.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of it for the big stuff.
Yeah, I think it's all the bigger stuff.
There's a lot of little technical stuff, but I want to say there are items now that won't break farmland. Like, I think if you harvest a pumpkin.
Oh, yeah.
Because you remember how when a pumpkin grows, it turns the farmland to dirt.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't do that anymore.
I don't think it does it anymore. I don't know how because farmland is like a pixel shorter than regular dirt.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if like they made the pumpkin a pixel larger on all the sides to accommodate for that. Or if like the pumpkin is just going to be like floating in the air.
Mm-hmm. That's what I'm thinking. It'd be hovering right over the farmland.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we have our Spotify and YouTube poll next. And we asked you guys, what were you most excited for 119 for? And Spotify surprised me with a tie between Easy Armor Swap and Jukebox with Hoppers. Both of those got 17% of the votes. It was very spread out.
Mm-hmm.
Potion Colors coming in third. And then on the YouTube poll, overwhelmingly Jukebox with Hoppers, but second place was Easy Armor Swap. No one really cares about horse breeding.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm big into the horse breeding either.
Yeah. Horses are a fun thing to have early game, but middle to late game, nah.
I might go Easy Armor Swap.
Yeah?
I'm trying to think of what I would pick. Like the Jukebox with Hoppers is nice, but...
See, I think I would use jukeboxes more now that they work with hoppers. So if I could set up a redstone mech, so every once in a while a disc would play, I would do that in a heartbeat. Whereas I don't have to stand by the jukebox and put a disc in and it just repeats until I punch it. Easy Armor Swap is nice. We've been waiting for that one for a while.
Mm-hmm.
It means if you're falling from the sky, you can save yourself.
Yeah, it's a good way to use it.
I think Bedrock has had that feature for a while, so we're finally catching up with some Bedrock.
Especially the fact that you have to use different armors in different situations now.
Mm-hmm.
Make it easier to get out of those situations.
Yeah, I often forget to put I've got gold boots specifically for the nether.
Same.
I forget about it a ton.
You get attacked every once in a while.
Yeah. Should we move on to listener comments?
Yeah.
Our first comment is from Warrior Queen Kaitlyn. They ask, have you guys ever tried Hive games? It's the main big server I play on, and it's really fun. not just PvP too. I have not. I don't have time.
Yeah, I've never heard of that.
I say that with me skipping every other day, I might actually have time now. But I've never been a big fan of mini game servers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, same.
I play Minecraft for building things. Like, there are parts of Minecraft in survival I still don't like. I'm just kind of there to build all the things. So
I see the Hive games on Twitter. It seems like a big, local area everyone can go to.
mhm.
I mean, I'm sure it's great for like PvP and any player versus player.
I believe when we hit our big listening goal, we did a bunch of mini games with listeners, spent like 3 or 4 hours playing mini games.
Hypixel?
Oh, it was Hypixel.
Yeah.
I remember because a listener had VIP status or whatever, and they were very gracious to let us use it.
Mm-hmm. We have a comment from JesseW Dino Fanatic. Dino Fanatic. I say fantastic. Either or. It's a great name. Anyways, it's a long time no see. Do you think with the new trail ruins, we may possibly get now hear me out, Terracotta Golem? I think it would be a cool way to implement one, in my opinion. It would be like a terracotta soldier statue. What do you think? JesseW Dino Fanatic was slain by a stained plane with a scent of gain while standing in a field of grain. It's a death message.
There are those memorable death message.
So Terracotta Golem.
I get it, because if you think about some of the Chinese emperors, they had the terracotta warriors that they'd be buried with.
Soldiers.
Or soldiers, yeah. So it would make sense to have something like that. I don't think we will get those. I think if they were to implement anything, it would be like a copper golem. So they'd be trying to replicate that process. But since the copper golem didn't get voted, I don't see them bringing it in a different way. They have done that before, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, I could see a terracotta golem. I would like to see a mob in these little ruins. There's not really much space for anything to fit. I think it's all clustered blocks together. But it'd be cool if you were digging and kind of like a silverfish out would pop a terracotta golem out of these new trail ruins.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it would do. It's a different type of mob. Even if it wasn't a golem, it would be something else. Something pop out of there. I think that'd be cool.
See, I'm looking at it at the complete opposite. I would like the terracotta golem. Why is that so hard to say? But so you dig into these ruins and you find this little statue that comes to life, but befriends you, kind of like a dog or a cat, and follows you around in Minecraft and helps you fight mobs. Its big thing is if it gets wet, it turns into a statue. And in order to wake it up again, you'd have to dry it off somehow, like move it to the desert or the nether.
Sponge.
Put a sponge on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it would be a soldier.
Mm-hmm. That could be fun.
We could make it a soldier.
I think we need more friends in Minecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Not just a dog and a cat. I mean, I guess you can have a parrot. The LA sometimes follows you around. It's more looking for shiny stuff.
This does help the single player aspect too.
Right?
Having a companion.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, not just a dog or cat, something else.
Maybe it doesn't do a lot of damage, but it has a massive health stat.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't kill it very easily. But it's a good way to like distract because you know how it is. You'll be fighting one mob, you turn around, and there's like 6 more coming at you. That would be a good way for this thing to go and like attack one of them. So it's kind of distracting the herd for you.
Mm-hmm. I'm thinking this could actually be a thing if you think about it with Legends, how there's all those different golems you could use as a troop. Maybe you dug one and it was like one of those random golems and they came and they used their attributes they have from Legends and use it in Minecraft against the enemy.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
All right. But thank you guys for those comments. Before we move on to Creator Clash, here's Jimbo with a reminder of how you can get a discount on your own Minecraft server from Bisect Hosting.
You can get a discount on your own Minecraft server through our partnership with Bisect Hosting, offering our community 25% off any game server for their first month. This is for new clients only. Visit bisecthosting.com/TWE and use the code TWE at checkout to receive the discount.
All right, Creator Clash. This time your choices were the tool rack custom vanilla-like trees from saplings, and item frame colors.
And the winner of Creator Clash is... Tool Rack. Congratulations, Tool Rock. Tool Rack.
Tool Rock.
Tool Rock. I can't talk today. Jeez.
Yeah, it's a little rough for me too.
Tool Rack's a pretty simple mod.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. It's a mod where you can easily hang up all your tools and weapons and whatnot.
Right.
Makes it a lot more fancy. You got armor stands to put your armor on.
Mm-hmm.
Some of them hold tools and weapons. I think that's Bedrock thing, or is that a mod?
Bedrock can hold tools and weapons, and then on Java, if you have the armor stand mod,
right,
it can convert and use a tripwire hook as an item or as a tool rack.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This is a cool one. I was kind of hoping for item frame color. That one looked more fun. I think now that we can invis item frames, a lot of people do that now. So you don't have to see, because the item frames are really plain kind of thing. It can be used well in certain spots, but there's a lot of turning those invisible and hiding them. And I think it'd be really cool to have a colored version. Okay, should we move into the feedback from last time? Because last episode, everyone picked visual enchantments. And playing with that one, you have to have Optifine, which was hard for me because I don't use Optifine. I use a lot of fabric mods. So I had to install that and get it going. Once I did that, it worked fine. I had to change some other settings to get the frame rate good.
Is it hard on the frame rate?
I got 6 frames when I first tried it.
What?
Once I allocated more RAM, I got 99 to 100, which is what I normally I cap my frames at 100. I don't ever need more than that, so I just cap it. It was cool. You'd have things like the respiration enchantment would put a respirator on your person.
Really? That's cool.
So that was cool. If you had flame on your sword, your sword would be on fire.
See, I saw some of your stream where it had that stuff. I didn't get to catch it all, but I did see the fire sword. I saw how, like, if it had unbreaking, there was something on your weapon that let you know it had unbreaking on there, like a little gold ball or...
Yeah, I can't remember what it was, but they're like little bands that would let you know.
Even efficiency.
Yeah, if it's efficiency, or if it's unbreaking, or if it's looting.
It's on there.
Actually, I think looting was a fishing hook.
Yep.
Which was very weird.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's for, like, I don't know, grabbing more items as you loot. I don't know. That's something I can think of. I thought that was strange, too.
Right. Yeah. Very cool. It had some armor trim-like qualities to it when it came to the different armor. Nothing really stood out as amazing. It was cool, but it's not something I would normally use.
Yeah, I thought it looked pretty neat.
Yeah, I felt it visually. It was a bit too much for me, but I'm such a vanilla player when it comes to texture packs and stuff. All of my texture packs just try to clean up the vanilla game.
One problem I have is confusing my Fortune and Silk Touch picks.
Yes.
And the good thing is this does allow you to,
Yes. You can look at your picks and go, okay, I know exactly which one I need.
You don't have to read it or scroll to it. You know where it is.
Correct. Very cool. And that stream replay is up on the YouTube channel if you want to go back and watch it. Carl does a good job of editing it down, so you only have to watch the Creator Clash. If you want to watch the full live stream, because we do stuff after that, you can go check out my Twitch, and it should still be on there.
Nice.
Should we move on to the juiciness?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I am excited for this topic. It's a topic I think we have done before.
Similar. Pretty similar.
But times change. We want different things now.
Sorta. You'll know by mine.
Yeah. So the topic is we needed to create our own update. It's been a while since we've had an update come that all 3 of us were like, you know what? That's an awesome update. I love everything about this update. Been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time. It's hard to agree with everything.
Right.
In the update. There's usually something that you don't like as much. It's not like you hate something.
Right.
In that update. There's always going to be things that outshine others.
I think the last time all 3 of us, me, you, and Carl, were like, this is awesome, was the Nether update.
Yeah, we were really excited for the Nether. It was long overdue.
Yeah, We created. I followed the very typical Mojang. This is what they've been doing lately for an update.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that as my outline. I've got a new biome. I've got a new tree. I've got a new mob. I've got new plants.
Yeah, you usually get one of those, one of each.
Right. So I follow that model. You did not.
No, mine's a little unorthodox. I'll admit it.
Yeah. And I think that's very cool.
Mm-hmm. I don't know how to explain it without telling you what it is.
Just do it.
Okay.
Just go for it. Tell me what your new update is.
Okay, it doesn't really have a name. Couldn't really think of a name. I want to see the new dimension.
Mm-hmm.
A new dimension. You see it kind of with the new portal. Now I got quotations with my fingers I'm holding up right now. You can't see them. So we don't know if that's a portal or not.
Mm-hmm.
But it'd be a great way to bring in a new dimension. And I have a few notes here for the dimension. And I feel like it'd be a lot of fun to like start over in this world.
Okay.
Not like completely over, but there's not going to be much from the old world that's in this world.
Okay.
Then again, you don't have that. Well, you have that in the end. There's not much over there that's in the other worlds. Anyways, yeah, this would be the new dimension. I don't know where it would be. I'm assuming it would be the Warden. What is that? The Ancient Cities?
Yeah.
I'm assuming it would be in there. But I don't see this dimension as like a dark, evil dimension, kind of like the Warden.
Mm-hmm.
How it's, it's summoned and you feel like it's guarding something, but maybe it's not guarding something so hostile. Maybe it's guarding something more peaceful, and maybe it is hostile. Yeah, I'm not sure where I'm going with this.
Me either.
I know one thing: it's going to be very unique.
Okay.
The mobs, there's going to be unique mobs. You're not going to see these same mobs inside the overworld or any other of the dimensions.
So you're talking like extreme fantasy.
Yes.
When it comes to this realm.
Yep. New world, new realm, pretty much. I would like these to be farmable. You know how I like my farms?
Oh, yeah.
I would like these mobs to be farmable. Maybe they have a pretty cool drop that is very useful and they need to be farmed. Or maybe it's just for food purposes. One of the mobs that I put on here is a rideable flying mob.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like I said, I was just thinking about this today, so it's not like complete, but any type of rideable mob that you can tame would be nice. And I'm thinking fantasy, like, yeah, dragon would be cool, but everyone just thought of a dragon. Everyone knows there's dragons out there flying around. Everyone knows it.
Okay.
In real life, everyone knows there's a dragon. I would like something more fantasy. Here I'm talking about, like, what's more fantasy than a dragon, Jimbo? I don't know.
Like a hippogriff from Harry Potter?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay.
I want to see different stuff. And I also feel like this dimension would be a great place to implement the golem variations. There's so many different golems that they've been trying to give us, and you see them in different games, and now Legends got a bunch of the little golems, and maybe this is the place where they're from. Maybe it's, I don't know, part of their dimension.
All right.
Thought that would be really cool. Didn't really think of like a civilization. Maybe the golems are the civilization there.
Okay. Could see that. That would make sense.
Because golems, I don't know, they're kind of humanoid-like. They're just mysterious. They appear and disappear.
Mm.
Well, not so much disappear. The villagers spawn them.
And then we turn them into iron.
Yep. And they're so big, you think you'd get more iron out of that big creature.
Yeah.
What do you get? 4 tops?
And a flower.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 1 or 2 flowers. I have here different vegetation, of course, farmable.
Okay.
And there's one thing I wanted to put on this vegetation, and that is a superfood that grows super slow, but it can restore, I want to say 6 hearts. I don't know if that would be too much. We want to go above the steak. We want to go above the pork chop because it's a superfood and it grows very slow, very slow. So you're not going to be able to farm it as much unless you get your hands on a lot of it.
So dripstone slow.
Possibly slower.
Mm.
Like I'm talking superfood that gives you a lot of health and saturation. We'll put that in there, saturation.
I think you might have to go bigger because I think golden apple would still beat that.
Does it give you more hearts?
I think so.
I never noticed how many hearts apples got.
It's got absorption too, or something like that.
Yeah, it's got different benefits to it, doesn't it? Like buffs. Yeah, this would need some buffs then.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if anyone could think of a good buff. Let me know. And another thing, vegetation or generation-wise, would be beanstalks. that's a fantasy thing. It's been thought of before, but I thought it would be cool to see those random beanstalks. And then, of course, giants. That goes with the unique mobs. Now, I know we all seen giants, but maybe they're different type of giants. Maybe they're Cyclops giants.
Not necessarily the zombie giant that's already in the game.
Right. Yeah, we don't want that one. Everyone's seen a zombie. I don't want another zombie variation in this dimension.
Okay.
Not in this one. Maybe a giant golem.
Maybe this is a land of golems.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it's golem land, golem dimension. And this would be a good opportunity to change the physics in the game a little bit. Not too sure how you would do it to make it fun, but maybe there's a different way things work in this dimension. It's just not the same. Because the way I see it, if I were to make like my ideal update, I would want things to change a little bit. Like you have, the same gameplay in the overlands most of the time. This is gameplay wise, but creatively, it's, you can really change everything. You don't need to do the same things over and over. But with the new dimension, the gameplay changes with new physics.
One thing I was thinking about when you're saying this is you could make it so you know how you have to get Ender Pearls, turn them into Eyes of Ender, then find the portal to get to the end dimension?
Mm-hmm.
What if once you're in this dimension, you can't come back until you have to do one of these travel quests and find stuff to open the portal again?
I like that. Like once you're in, you're in.
Yeah, it's kind of like the end where you have to fight the dragon before you open the portal again. But you could just die and then you would wake up in your bed.
Mm.
What if there's no dying and going back into a bed? You just end up at spawn.
Where you spawned in the first place.
Yep.
I like that. Yeah, I hope Mojang is listening. So that's a good idea.
Very good. Is that all?
Yeah, didn't get to polish it up too much. But it's, I got a little bit in my head.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put down on these notes.
I kind of sprung the topic on you last second.
Yeah. Well, I kept thinking all day, like, man, what is my ideal update? And it's not, I don't know, it's something you really need to think about. I started thinking about this when I sat down. I'm like, I'm going to play off of something that I've been wanting for a while and put in what I want from what I want.
Mm-hmm.
That probably didn't make any sense. I wanted new things in the new dimension.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I got.
My update will be biome specific, not an entire dimension. It's going to be tropical islands. I feel the ocean, while it did get an update in 1.13, is still empty. We have islands, but there's nothing that differentiates islands from regular land masses in the game.
Yeah.
So I thought about if a landmass of so many blocks or less spawns and is surrounded by warm ocean, it should be a tropical island. That's how the game would recognize, hey, tropical island, plop, there you go.
Kind of like how the glacier
Right.
form. Okay.
The features of the island would be a mix of steep seaside cliffs and really deep beaches. Now, when we got the overworld update, they really worked on that a bit. Beaches did become more beachy, but I want some extremely deep beaches mixed with some of these cliffs. I don't want to necessarily get rid of the cliffs. Not going to add volcanoes or anything in there that was thought of.
Ooh.
There could be some forest areas and such, but it'd be more sparse forest, not necessarily like a birch forest or a deep dark forest.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be like sparse jungle forest. But on the beaches, we would finally get the palm tree.
Right.
It's a tree I've been asking for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it would be great to go ahead and bring it in.
Yeah, you think we'd have got that with like turtles
Right.
and the dolphin?
Right.
Been a good time.
Would have been a good time. We could have coconuts as a food source.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be cool. It'd make you collect coconuts, and then you'd have to prep them somehow. You couldn't just straight up eat them.
What if you had like the double effect? Like coconut milk is a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So what if it also took away like your special effects, like mining fatigue? You ate a coconut would count as milk.
Oh, in case you don't have a cow nearby.
Yeah, a coconut would do the same.
That could be cool. I like that.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, for mobs, I had to go capybara. I think they're absolutely adorable. And with the Sniffer being the shape it is, I think it would fit very well in the game nowadays.
Yeah, a little similar.
Mm-hmm. But I didn't want to make the tropical islands too friendly, and I added sawgrass. For people who don't know what that is, I lived in Florida through my childhood, and it was something you had to watch out for running around with no shoes on. It would kind of act like berry bushes, the fact that it pricks you, but sawgrass could really cut you up if you just ran right into it.
Hmm.
Having another plant or whatever that could do some harm seemed like it would be a cool way. Because we're getting all these nice, beautiful, luscious, let's add a little bit of evil in there.
Mm-hmm.
And sawgrass, I like it.
I mean, the name says it all.
Yeah.
Sawgrass.
Yeah, if you got a piece of that stuck between your toes while you were running, just think of like the worst paper cut you've ever received and put it between your fingers.
Ooh.
And times it by 2, and that's sawgrass.
Man. See, we have, I think it's called itchweed around here. You step in it, and it's more of like a burning, itchy, like fiberglass feeling.
Yeah.
But nothing like sawgrass.
This, like, you could have big sawgrass plants, but oftentimes when you found it, it was because you were running around afoot and there was just a small sawgrass plant. You didn't see it. The leaves shouldn't say leaves, they look like blades of grass. They're often longer than normal grass. I remember getting attacked by that stuff a lot growing up. Between the toes, you'd get some deep paper cuts, what it felt like. And there was no going in the ocean then.
Man, I couldn't imagine that. Live in Florida, go run out in the field and realize my toes are missing. Oh, my toes are missing. Ran through that sawgrass. Sawed your toes off.
It wouldn't cut you that bad, but...
Sounds bad.
Yeah.
I was more worried about the alligators. Now I'm worried about the sawgrass.
No, alligators don't want to eat you, but they are territorial.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to pay attention. If like you're jumping into a river or something, I don't recommend just jumping into random bodies of water in Florida, but like if you're jumping into a river or a lake or something, you make a big enough splash, usually they take off.
Yeah.
They don't want to be around people, but they hungry, they might.
What if, I'm thinking tropical islands, what if like when it rains, it doesn't rain there, but you get like a rainbow haze in the atmosphere? Tropical, like, at least that's what I'm imagining.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm a big Survivor watcher, and they're mostly in tropical islands. They're in Fiji for like the last couple of years, which is a very tropical island. And when it rains there, it rains.
Yeah.
So maybe when it rains there, most of the rain's a thunderstorm and not so much.
It's a hard, heavy rain.
Right.
I was going complete opposite.
Yeah, you're trying to make things nice and pretty. I'm just like, no, violence.
Yeah, it got dark.
Yeah. All right, I think that's going to do it for today's show. But before Jimbo reads us out, I want to say a huge thank you to all of our patrons who are supporting the show. Our milk level patrons are Aerington, Aubni, BoboPlaysGames, FragileRock, Loki, and Nathlech. If you too would like to get access to exclusive benefits and extra content each month, please consider joining at patreon.com/thewithering
If you like the show, you can share it with all of your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, rate and follow us so you never miss a future episode. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these helps the show reach more listeners. If you'd like to get in contact with us, send an email to podcast@thewitheringeffect.com. Tweet us, leave a voice message, or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. All the links are in the show notes.
This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be, and the amazing music you hear throughout the show is created by the one and only Decoy. Everyone's social media info can be found in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink your milk now. Bye!
See you guys.
Hey, just keep it running. I'm all out of drink, so I'm gonna run and grab a drink real quick.
Okay. Insert elevator music here, Carl.